Hello, viewers. Today's topic is going to be about honesty in relationships. So, this is one of the topics that I wanted to talk about, and but today I had an Uber rider who was a young kid, and he was telling me about his girlfriend and how his situation is a little different, but she's an instigator, and she likes to run her mouth, and then after she runs her mouth to another dude, let's say maybe at a bar or wherever they're at, she says, "Oh, now you got to deal with my boyfriend." So she just throws him into a situation. So his fear was that basically he felt like it was going to get to the point where he would get shot. So she's putting him into that kind of a situation. That's not good. That's definitely toxic. Nobody should be putting you into that kind of situation. Nor should you stay with anybody that puts you into that situation. But that right there kind of triggered my, I guess, me wanting to talk about honesty and why can't people just tell you how they really feel instead of dragging things on. So this is what I'm on about, because I really feel like I can't be the only one on this. If you're in a relationship and you're not really happy with the person, why not just tell them? Why lie to them and drag it on and end up hurting that person even more than if you had just told them the truth? Now, if you tell them the truth, there might be an argument, there might be feelings hurt, there might be a heart crushed, but at least at the end of the day, they can know the truth, and they can know that now they're going to have to move on. Now, there's some people that are psycho, and they don't want to move on because they think that you're their soulmate. And maybe at the beginning you were, if that's a thing. I believe that when you first meet somebody, yes, you do meet the representative. You don't really meet them until you actually hang out with them and get to know them better. You don't know really who they are. But to me, that's the whole purpose of dating, is to find out if I can deal with this, or deal with this person, or deal with what they're bringing to the table, or what they're not bringing to the table. Some people click, some people don't. But some people click at first, and then they realize that they have more issues than what one is willing to handle, and then they have to break it off. But there's some people that don't want to let go. But my thing is, there's a lot of people that just don't tell the truth. They would rather lie, or some people would call it settle. Okay? To me, if you settle with somebody, that means, this is just my opinion, okay? So this is not set in stone, it's not fact or anything, but just my opinion. If you settle with somebody, that means that you basically don't want to be alone, which I don't think anybody really wants to be alone. I mean, sometimes you want to be alone. I mean, you have those days, but forever, I don't think really anybody truly wants to be alone deep down. I mean, you can say that all you want, but I don't know. But again, it's just my own personal thing. But I do understand the people that do want their space, and time to themselves, and I get that. Okay. But I feel like a lot of people don't truly want to be alone. So they will find somebody that is bearable, okay, to them, whether it be looks wise or personality wise or whatever they choose. And they get with this person, and it works out. It's not great, but it works out. But as soon as you get into an argument, or as soon as you go out somewhere with maybe your buddies or your girlfriends or whoever, and you see somebody else, it's almost like you're constantly looking for that one. Basically, you're almost like looking for your soulmate. So I don't understand why people settle when basically you're lying to that person that you love them. I mean, you might really care about them. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like you hate them or anything, but you might. I feel like you're going to be constantly looking for the one that you really get along with, the one that you find to be hot. Some people go off of looks. I mean, I think a lot of us do. But then again, the personality can make or break the person, to me. So, but it's almost like you're settling, and it's there to keep you company, that person is, but you're waiting to meet that person that just blows your mind. And then you cheat on the one you settled with, and then you go after the one that you think is your soulmate. So that's what, to me, settling gets into. So basically, you have lied to this person for I don't know how many years or months or however long it is, and then maybe you even have kids with them, but you're never happy. So every argument you get into, it just separates you even more from them. So why not just be single, okay, and then find what you really want? Because you can still, if you're capable, if work's not tying you down too much, or whatever the situation, everybody goes through something different, and I get that. But why not free yourself up to be able to find that soulmate and just go out and party, with your friends or whatever, and then settle down with the person that you really want once you find them. I'm sure you eventually will. Sometimes, I guess it takes a while. I guess it can take a while. But I feel like you will. I mean, if you keep looking, and I know it's frustrating. Trust me, I know it can be frustrating to try to find somebody. And sometimes you feel like, I'm just going to quit looking and maybe they'll come to me. I know a lot of people have said that. But I feel like there is somebody for everybody. I really do feel that. I mean, I really do believe that. I've heard that saying, and I really do believe that. But I just feel like a lot of people settle, and it just ends up in, not always. I'm not saying that all settling just ends up in disaster, but a lot of settling ends up in a negative situation. So I just don't understand why people just can't be honest, and also being honest with, if somebody should ask you, I don't know, about themselves, why can't we tell them the truth? Why do we have to lie to them and put them in a, I don't know, you're putting them into like a, not disbelief, but you're feeding into what they want to hear. And I don't understand why we do that when we could just tell the truth, and hurt their feelings. Yes, it's going to happen. And then they know. Because some people want to know, well, how come I don't have any friends? And, you might be their best friend or whatever, but you will feed them. Basically, you'll try to sugarcoat it. And they think that they're okay. but they're not. And you know the truth, but most people won't say the truth until you guys get into an argument. Then when you get into an argument, then the truth really comes out. Now, sometimes you say more than what you should. And sometimes you don't mean what you always say. Sometimes you don't mean that everything that comes out of your mouth. And sometimes you're just saying stuff just to try to hurt them because they're hurting you. But a lot of times, the truth comes out after you get pissed off. And then that's when you kind of need to listen. Because some things might have some truth behind it, and some things you probably know, well, I don't do that anyway, so I don't know what you're talking about, you know. Because at that point, then they might just be saying something off the wall just to try to hurt you because you're hurting them. But if we were able to tell the truth, because the truth is very powerful, and it can hurt more than a lie, really. But at the same time, you will know, and then you'll be able to change. Maybe you'll be able to know the truth, and maybe be able to change either yourself or what you're doing, or if your friends were to tell you the truth about yourself, then you would know, hey, well, this is why I don't have any friends. Maybe I need to work on this. You know, maybe I don't know. Maybe it'd be a New Year's resolution or something, but then the person could work on themselves, or they could know, so they could change. But the truth, sometimes it's just, it hurts. It sucks sometimes hearing the truth, and a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. But it can really help in the long run. I mean, because if you're with somebody and you're like, hey, I don't want to be with you because I know I'm going to cheat on you, or, you know, whatever. I mean, you don't have to say that, but, you know, if you know and you break up with them, you know, just because I don't want to be with you because I thought you were the one, but it's just not working out for me. I don't feel the same way, you know, then there'd be no cheating. The person wouldn't have to be devastated to know that you cheated on them. You know, I mean, it's just, I guess it has its pros and cons. But at least at the end of the day, because I want to know. And my friends tell me the truth. And it's been, throughout my life, it has been crushing. It has been heartfelt. And I've had my heart broken. But at least at the end of the day, I knew what it was. And I feel like more people should do that. Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, a lot of times, I tell people how it really is. Even if they're strangers. And sometimes they don't want to hear it. But even in my Uber, if they truly want to listen, I will tell them what I truly feel. And sometimes the conversation ends up good. Sometimes they don't like what they hear. But usually, before they close that door, they're like, thanks. And a lot of them are like, I needed to hear that. But whether or not they work on themselves, or whether or not they don't do anything about it. I'll give you another example. I had a woman who was married, and she was married for 24 years. And she knew after the second year that she was unhappy in that marriage. After the second year, so that's 22 years that she lied to this man. So after the kids grew up and left, then she told him, it's not working. It's not working for me. And I'm sure there's some of you out there that's probably been married longer. Or, you know, maybe, you know, a few years or several years or however long. And maybe this has happened to you. But if you knew after the second year that you were unhappy, why stay with them? Why keep having kids with this man? Like, that is something that confuses me. Because you have grown a life. He's gotten, you guys are just, you know everything probably there is to know about each other. Except he didn't know this one thing that you kept. That is the master of all liars. If you kept something that long and you knew it wasn't going to work for 22 years, man, that's mind-blowing to me. That's just absolutely mind-blowing. So I don't understand why you would waste somebody's life just for what? I don't even know what, for what, why? That just doesn't make any sense to me. So the truth hurts, but sometimes you can get comfort later on. You're not going to see it right away. I guarantee you that. But later on, you will see. And sometimes maybe you can, if it's a toxic relationship like that, like the one kid is in, and it's another thing that shocks me, that he still wants something true, something original, like we used to have back in the day, where two people got together and they stayed together. It is still a thing. There are still younger people, which made me happy, because there are people in this generation, in the younger and newer generation, that still want something real. They still want that relationship. They still want to have that long-term commitment. And that, to me, is just, that's epic. That's epic to hear that a younger person still wants that. They want something that used to be. Now, granted, back in the day, they were still, cheating on each other, but I believe that there was less of that. So it's still nice to hear that in this day and age, people still want something real. And that's awesome, because to me, that's how it should be. And if you're unhappy with somebody, you should tell them. It's not working, but tell them why. I mean, your big toe's too big, or whatever it is that you just don't like. Whatever it is that you're not feeling anymore, just tell them. Just tell them. I mean, to me, there's just no point in dragging it out when you're seeing somebody else and you're trying to juggle 2 relationships or 3, because you're trying to figure out which one you want or which one is going to be the better one. I mean, it works in both situations. Guys and girls do it. So, I mean, it's just mind-boggling that you can't just be like, okay, you're not it. You're just not the one for me. This is why. I can't stand your attitude. You're always starting stuff, like in that one particular case, starting drama. I don't want to be in a drama-filled relationship. I don't want to have to fight everybody that every time we go out somewhere. That's just toxic. Nobody who wants to be in a toxic relationship like that. And there are some people that stay in a toxic relationship, and that's sad. But some people are locked in. They might control the finances or whatever, and then you have no place to go. Maybe your family's too far. Maybe they got you to move somewhere. I mean, there's all types of situations, and I feel for those people. Man, I really do. But if you can tell the person that it's just not working out, or maybe you guys haven't got together yet, or lived together yet, I should say. Tell them. If you're not happy, tell them. Don't drag it out. Don't get together and start a family when you know in the back of your head that it's, as soon as you get a chance, as soon as you find somebody else, you're out. Like, that's killer to me. Like, that's crazy. It's just one of those things I've just never understood. So, let me know down in the comments what you think about people lying and not telling the truth. And I'm truly happy though that there are younger people that still want that solid long-term relationship. That's just great to me. I mean, there's still a chance for the human race. Where everybody's just not hopping around in relationships and lying to people. Some people, something happened where he caught on to something and he still wants something true, something real, and I love it. So, until next time, we will see